As a product manager, you already know you'll be working with a wide range of stakeholders within your team and across the organization to help you function effectively as a product manager. Okay. But there's this one stakeholder I need you to make your best friend as quick as possible. And this is the lead engineer on your team. The lead engineer is essentially crucial to making your role successful as a product manager. And in this episode of PM Shorts, I'll teach you why you need to do this and how you need to make the lead engineer your best friend. More often than not, you find out there's always friction between the product management function and the engineering function within an organization. And this occurs because the engineering team think they don't need product managers to build a product. And on the flip side, the product management functions think engineers just make things complex and waste time on delivery. None of this is understandable. The real magic of product management happens when there's full alignment between engineering and product management. And I've been fortunate enough to work with some amazing lead engineers during my time as a product manager. In those scenarios where there's full alignment between product management and engineering in a product team, a lot of beautiful things can happen along the way. In my scenario, for example, I and my lead engineer always presented a more unified front in front of stakeholders during roadmap reviews and vision review sessions. On the sprint side, for example, our sprints went a bit much smoother because we're always on the same page, right from refinements down to planning and even up to ritual where there should be more friction. But we find out that things went a bit more smoother because I and the lead engineer were already in sync. And of course, when I had gaps in my technical knowledge for the product, the lead engineer always steps up and fills in those spaces. And when I need some obscure data from the back end, the lead engineer is always available to help me out. So how did I achieve this love relationship between product management and engineering? Here are some tips I've used in my career, and I hope it helps you along the way. Tip number one, bring in the product engineer from the very beginning of your product lifecycle. Okay. You don't bring them in halfway during refinement. No, it doesn't make sense that way. Okay. They are actually one half of your coin if you want to think of it from that perspective. Carry your lead engineer along the way of every phase of your product development lifecycle. This will make your life easier. This will help you tap into their knowledge and their expertise, and this will make sure you're both on the same page in every step of the way. Okay, you can't do it all by yourself. They would help you think of things from a technical perspective, while you think of things from a user centric or even from the business perspective. So, tip number one, bring in your lead engineer in every stage of your product development lifecycle. Tip number two, do not solutionize your feature requests alone. Always bring in your engineers for that session whenever you have a request for a solution from your stakeholders or from your users. When you do this way, two things happen simultaneously. One, you get the benefit of a well-rounded solution from a technical perspective. And secondly, you signal to the engineer that you value his or her time and her presence on the team. This helps you build mutual respect between product management and engineering, and this leads to that cohesive alignment that will make things work from magically going forward. So, tip number two: do not solutionize your feature request by yourself. Always bring in the lead engineer at this point too. Tip number three, never take all the credit for the team's wins. Always give credit to whom credit is due, most especially to the lead engineer on the team. Okay, because you didn't come up with all the solutions by yourself. And even if you did, which is very rare, then never take all the credit for the team wins by yourself. This builds appreciation within your team, it builds appreciation for the lead engineer, and it builds respect between product management and engineering going forward. So, tip number three, never take the full credit for your team's wins. Tip number four, never lay the blame for a failure of your product on your lead engineer. In front of stakeholders, you are the number one contact person for your product. So if they come to you with a problem, do not pass the bulk to your lead engineer. Take the blame for your team, then go behind the scenes and work things out with your lead engineer to find a solution to the problem. So, tip number four, never pass the blame to failure of your product to your lead engineers or to anybody on your team for that sake. Okay, take responsibility. You are the product manager for that team. Tip number five, this is a quite straightforward one. Always make sure you involve the lead engineer in every stakeholder update you send out. This leads to transparency and openness. Okay, so I will repeat that. Always make sure you involve your lead engineer in every stakeholder update you send out. Tip number 6, never create your product roadmap, your product vision, and your product objectives without your lead engineer. Remember, they are the yin to your yang. They are your better half in this relationship, actually. Always make sure you have them in the room whenever you're setting your team's vision. So that way, they can adopt your vision, spread it with the rest of the engineer, and your team can move as one towards that North Star, which is your core objective for your product. So I repeat, never create your product roadmap, your product vision, and your product objectives without your lead engineer. Okay? Now, I could go on and on and on sharing more tips on how you could make the lead product engineer your best friend. But this is PM short, and I really need to keep this session short. But before I let you go, one more major tip. Try as much as possible to make this less of a work transactional relationship, but more of a friendship-based relationship. Take more interest in what they do outside the workplace, and that way you could broaden your knowledge of the person to find out what makes them tick, okay? I've done this a lot in my career, and I found that this has built a better bond of friendship and not just one of a workplace transactional relationship. I also do understand that it's not in all scenarios that you get paired with the lead engineer, which your personalities work well together. This is very understandable. It happens well in the workplace and in life in general. You need to find a way to make this work, okay? Refer to my last video on how to read human data for stakeholder management and find a way to make this relationship work, as it's actually crucial to making sure you succeed in your role as product managers going forward, okay? That's all for this edition of PM Shots, and till I catch you in the next one, keep building impactful products.